Hello, and welcome to another edition of Town Tours. Today, we're heading south to north on Highway 93 to one of the wildest of the old Wild West towns, Pioche, Nevada. Now, there's two ways to get into Pioche. Just up the road here on the left-hand side is State Route 321. Now, that will take you on the scenic route into beautiful Pioche. Rolling hills, gorgeous, a lot of old mines. Look for this sign, visit historic Pioche, and you're going to be making a left turn onto State Route 321. Now, we're going to be taking Highway 93 all the way in because there's a few things I want to show you. Basically, a couple of state parks and also a beautiful 9-hole golf course. That's definitely worth taking a look at. But before we get going here, Ely, Nevada, it's 113 miles up the road. Now, there's no services at all between Pioche and Ely, so if you need to get gas, there's two gas stations in town here. Now, Pioche has its own website, piochennevada.com. Now, this is really a good place to get a list of all the businesses here in Pioche, from restaurants, hotels, gas stations, banks, pubs. They have really some really nice old Western turn-of-the-century saloons here. Speed limit signs, 55 miles an hour. It goes from 70 to 55, and there's a sheriff's station up here on the right. So slow down. We don't want you getting a ticket. Now, we're coming up to State Route 322. Now, left will take you into Pioche. But if you're into the great outdoors, you want to be making a right here. Echo Canyon State Park and Spring Valley State Park. Hunting, fishing, camping, boating, and RV park. Lots to do. Also to the right is Pioche's golf course. Pioche's golf course actually is in their park system. So right next to the golf course is to the right and about a half a mile down on the left. But part of the park system is also a shooting range down there and also a motocross course. So there really is a lot to do here in Pioche. Now, that building you're looking at right there, well, if you get a speeding ticket, that's where you're going to pay for it. Right next to the courthouse is a beautiful little park. Actually, it's a pretty big park. They got baseball diamonds, horseshoe pits, even have a play area for kids. Even if you want to just break up your drive, you can always stop there, have a picnic. There's a beautiful little restaurant here in town. You can get some food. Pioche, elevation, 6,000 feet, which means during the winter months, you are going to get some snow. Okay, cell service. AT&T does not work here. Verizon does. Okay, up about 2 blocks, we're going to be making a left turn to get to Boot Hill Cemetery. Supposedly 75 people were buried there before the first person died of natural causes. Now, go back to piochennevada.com. They do have a real good video on Boot Hill. Just click on Boot Hill video. Another good video they have is Thompson's Opera House. They've totally restored this building. It's absolutely gorgeous. Chamber of Commerce is inside, so it's a good place to stop. Get all your walking tour guides, anything you want to know about the town, you'll find it right there. Overland Hotel and Saloon, 13 rooms, and they have Wi-Fi. Okay, we're going to start up the street here. This is downtown Pioche. We'll do the left side of the street first, then on the way back down, we're going to make a U-turn and we'll do the other side of the street. Tilly's gas station, see the motorhome, you fit. And they do have 2 cabins that they rent out in the back. Now, next to Tilly's is the Bank of America, and they do have an ATM machine that's open 24 hours just inside the front door. The Lincoln County Historical Museum, what can I tell you about this? They're just really step back into the soul of what Pioche was like in its Wild West days. All kinds of memorabilia, old newspapers, mining collections, Indian artifacts. This is definitely a must-see when you come through Pioche. Now, we're going to go up to the top of the hill here and turn around, but on the other side of the Memorial Gardens Park, which is just right up here on the left, is State Highway 321. If you would have taken the scenic route in, you would have come in behind the park. Okay, if we were to jog just a little bit to the right there, this is what Pioche is all about. This is where the silver was. That was called Treasure Hill. Okay, as we're heading down the hill here, just past the telephone company on the left-hand side, is a place called the Bank Club. It's an old saloon. It's actually turn of the century. And it really did used to be the bank in town. By the way, Nevada Club right there on the right. Great old pub, too. Really nice looking. But the great story about the Bank Club here is all the vaults are still there from the late 1800s. But if you're familiar with the history of Pioche, there was a lot of murders. There was a lot of killings back in its heyday. And in the winter months, there was no way to get the bodies off the hill. So right next to the vault, there's a room, and this is where they stacked all the bodies. Needless to say, when the snow let up and they were able to take all the bodies down to the cemetery, they'd get them off the hill. But according to a lot of the locals here, this place is haunted. Just another story right here in Pioche. Just thought you might be interested. In fact, there is quite a few buildings here that are supposed to be haunted. The Purple Onion right there, great place if you're into collectibles, antiques, the Old West. And right next to Corbett's Antiques is a Silver Cafe. Comfort food, home cooking, friendly people. You'll really enjoy it. The Miners Market for all your grocery needs right on the corner. Now, if you went straight, that's how we came up the hill. This is alternate 93, which is State Route 321 heading northbound, which will take you into Ely, Nevada. Okay, on the left-hand side, coming up is the famous Mountain View Lodge. It was built in 1895 to house dignitaries who were going to be going to the courthouse next door. Herbert Hoover actually stayed there. Next building up is the $1 Million Courthouse, and that's really, it's a story in itself. But another thing in here that we really enjoyed is the jail. It's turn of the century. It's exactly what it looked like back in the late 1800s. Another gas station, Sinclair A and B service. If you need towing, auto repair, anything, this is where you would stop. The Motherlode Hotel just sits right next door to it. They have no Wi-Fi, but they do have comfortable rooms. Now, just up top of the hill right here is Hutchings Motel. Okay, as we're heading out of town here, we're going to show you what it looks like during the winter. Just a little bit of snow, not too much here on the ground in Pioche. Now, Pioche is also known for its dirt roads. That's right. They literally have hundreds and hundreds of miles of dirt roads just waiting to be explored. Go to pioche.nevada.com. They do have plenty of videos showing you things to do and places to explore. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Town Tours, Pioche, Nevada, and we'll see you on your next road journey.